Hey guys, Gina here. I'm working on day number 14 of Load, and the prompt is, what is home to you? And obviously to me, and this is quite a funny story, not really funny, but when I got home from Calgary the last time and I showed up at the airport, I was like, oh, I'm so glad to be home. And Stu said, you're not home yet. We still have an hour to go to get to the airport. And I was like, no, the minute I see you, the minute I'm with you, I'm home. And so when this prompt came up, in the Load challenge on the 14th, which was Valentine's Day, so it was all very apropos. But when this prompt came up, I thought back to that story of us at the airport and what I said to him. And I don't know if you guys got this impression or not, but I am not the most, like, romantic person in the world. And, typically, like, if I say something nice to Stu, he's like, what did you do to my wife? So, just the fact that I happened to say that during this time and then this prompt came up was quite, I don't know, interesting to me. So I'm trying to work on this layout, and I didn't have a picture obviously from the airport, but I pulled this picture from the Mother's Day. I scrapbooked for day 13 the picture of Stu's mom for Mother's Day, and then this photo was also taken that day. So I thought that I would just go ahead and use this photo to tell that story. So the date really doesn't matter, it's just a photo of Stu. And I cut this die cut here from the Silhouette store, and it says "You Are My Home," which I thought was a great title. And then I've had these chipboard, and they look like doors to me, in my stash from a kit I got a million years ago, and I've never had an opportunity to use them, and I thought that doors signify coming home or something like that. So I decided that I would try somehow to get these doors on this layout. I'm using a combination of the February Studio Calico kit, and that's where this 12 by 12 background paper came from, and also that kit, the November 2012 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. So I have my die cut, and then this picture, as you can see, the walls at my mother-in-law's house used to be pink. She has now painted them a very neutral tan, and I thank her so much. It makes my pictures much easier to scrap, so thanks, Mom. But now I'm kind of competing with that pink, and sometimes I worry about that, and sometimes I'm just kind of like, I don't care. So what I'm going to try to do is cover, I don't want to, like, you know, box him in or anything, but I'm going to try to downplay that pink a bit and just try to ignore it. I pulled this one piece of paper from that November 2012 card kit, so that's from the Basic Gray Serenade collection. And then I have this, this is from Pebbles. It's the Hello paper from the Seen and Noted collection here. And I used it on the last layout, but I thought I might take and just cut out this, like one of these or two of these turquoise sort of colors, because I don't want to add the red in, and I don't want, like, maybe yellow. Maybe we'll add some yellow, but the gray, the teal, and the maybe even white. The gray, the teal, and the there's a lighter blue on here. So maybe some of those, and I would cut them in strips and lay them out on here. There's also this cool chevron ribbon that came in the kit, so I thought maybe I could try to use that. The washi tape from the Studio Calico kit, that wide washi. This is my actual first roll of wide washi tape. I haven't purchased any of this, so we'll see how that goes. And look how much washi tape is on that roll. It always cracks me up. We buy all this washi tape, and then it's like, how am I ever going to use that much washi tape? Anyway, so we have that, and so it has like that nice gradient ombre effect here, so I like that. I thought the geotags would actually work very well for this layout that's in this wood veneer case. And then I have two stamp sets from Technique Tuesday. This is the February 2013 collection Studio AE set, and it has all of these words on it about, like, so totally love you, you're the best, blah blah blah, all those kind of things. And then this is the January Studio AE set, and I like this, love you here, and then also this one there. So I thought that's where we're gonna start. And then again, this intro is way too long. We're like up to 5 minutes now, and I haven't even started scrapping. You know what I'm gonna start doing? I will start putting the time that I actually start creating the layout down in the description, so you guys don't have to listen to me ramble on. But if you want to, you're more than welcome. But I'm going to get started with this, so thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. So guys, the first thing I decided to do on this layout was to heat emboss some of these Ali Edwards stamps, and I chose the Love You in that circle and the I Love You in, it was just a, and I'm testing here to see if the stamps will fit in that 1 3/4 inch punch, and it turns out that the I Love You doesn't fit so well, but the Love You fits right in there. So I thought just cutting off a little piece of that Y in I Love You wasn't going to be such a bad thing. And again, I have to apologize for the glare. My husband is working on it, but he's not very fast. I don't think he considers this on his top priority list. So, he better get it together. But, you can see there, I'm just heat embossing this, nothing to it. And then I decide that I'm going to color these chipboard shapes. So I'm going to punch out all those, and there you go. This video is a little choppy. I chopped it up quite a bit. And then here, I'm just picking out some paper, because I decide that I'm going to back the windows. So I'm just tracing the size that I'll need for the windows so that I can cut the papers out. And then I'll go about cutting them out. And then we'll move on. And then I'm going to color the inside of the doors where all of the panels of the door are. I'm going to color those in gray. So as you can see, the doors are black, and then the panels on the door are gray. Which doesn't represent our house at all, because the front door of our house is maroon, but whatever. We have maroon shutters and a maroon door on our beige house, our beige and brick house. So we have beige paneling. Now you guys can go on a tour of Maryland and try to find my house. No, I'm just kidding. So here I'm just backing those windows, like I said, with the... Oh my heavens, this video is choppy. With that that pattern paper from that 6x6 basic gray Serenade pad, and now I'm gonna use some spray adhesive to put this die cut down. And I cut that from on my Cameo, and that's just a die. It's a shape that's available in the Silhouette store. And I'm gonna use some of this wide washi tape that came in the Studio Calico February kit, and use that as a border across the page. And then I thought about using that ribbon from the kit as well, but decided not to use that. But I'm going to cut some strips of this paper that came in the kit, because I don't want the red or the yellow portions of that stripe. So I cut it down so I could just get the yellow and the white and the aqua. So here I'm just laying the elements out. That point on the top of that house was driving me crazy, because it always created that awkward space there. So I just tucked the photo under there, and then decided that there needed to be something more behind the photo. So I took another strip of this washi tape and laid it across there. I'm not sure about this wide washi tape. I mean, it makes a great element on the page, but I have a hard time getting it. Maybe I've never used it before, so maybe I'll get better. It's my only roll of that wide washi tape, and I just own it because it came in the kit. I haven't bought any, but I like it that it takes up a good portion of space, but it seemed very difficult for me to work with. So now I'm like, oh, it's still not tall enough. So my mother-in-law, I think I said this in the intro video, but I'm not sure, but the walls in her house used to be this pink. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Oh, let's just cut the photo down, and then it fits nicely on that back with the washi. It doesn't extend past that. So, and then I'm lining that picture up with the peak of that house, because otherwise it leaves an awkward gap that I don't particularly like. So, and then I'm just going to put some of that stripe paper at the top too, to kind of balance the top and the bottom of that washi tape. And I'm going to punch out these two I Love You, and then the other one that says Love You from those Ali Edwards stamps. And I think they're from Studio AE, the February. Are they from February or January of this year? One of those two sets. As you know, all of the supplies will be listed in the blog post if you guys are interested. Then I'm going to lay these doors down on the bottom of the page here with some Tombow Mono Multi glue, and then I'm going to put the panels in, and there's that. And then I'm just going to clean up a little bit, move that all out of the way. And then embellishing this layout. This layout is actually, if you look at it in the final product, it's very simple, but it took forever, which is why I chopped a lot of the video up, because it took forever. And then I seriously regretted putting that love you where I put it, but it wouldn't come up off that photo. I used foam adhesive to pop it up off the page, and then it wasn't coming up off the photo, so it was staying there. Now I'm using some of these LE Studio, going through all of the die cuts. This is from, most of this is from their new collection. I think it's called You and Me. But again, the supplies will be listed in the blog post if you're very interested. But those, so I'm layering them to think about where I'm going to put my journaling. And now now it becomes very clear where my 3 element clusters are going to be. So again, just looking through things that will match this layout, not wanting to bring more pink into it because there's enough pink in the photo. I think I said in the intro video that I'm very happy my mother-in-law has now painted her house, her living room, a nice neutral color. It's a nice tan neutral. It's perfect. So so scrapping the photos is much easier now. Thanks, Mom. I think I said that already, but I didn't. This is the 4th time I'm editing this video, so I'm over it at this point. So I'm going to add another one of these. I think it's this stamp set is called You're Fantastic, again from Ali Edwards, and I'm going to stamp this. Look, there's my little memento drawer. I thought maybe I would use that silver ink, but never did, and I still have never used it. I don't know. So I used the black, and it says "So totally love you," and then I'm going to adhere this down. And now it's giving me love. It's going to be love in all 3 embellishment clusters. So this one up here with the hearts, and then it says totally love you. And then I have love you in that silver circle. And then so I'm thinking there's on the bottom of that LE Studio 4x6 journaling card, there's a bunch of XOs, XOs, XOs there. So I'm thinking about using some of these buttons. And I leave the entire top of this layout blank, just the way it is, because this layout did not come together easily for me. And so by the time I was finished it, much like editing this video, by the time I was finished it, I was over it. I was just like, oh my gosh, let's just get this one done. So I didn't even think about the top. If I go back before I put it in the album, I may go back and just, it's a little heavy on the bottom, which if it's going to be heavy anywhere, as far as I'm concerned, you want it more heavy on the bottom than the top. Otherwise it looks, it looks a little off kilter. But if I do, if I look at it before I put it in the album and think that it's definitely not working with that top all empty like that, I may just add like a couple of strips of pattern paper that match, or some of that washi tape to that upper left hand corner, and that might give it a little bit more balance. But see, there's where I'm going to try to pull that that love you circle up, and it's not going to come up. So I'm like, okay, we'll work around it somehow. And I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate. I don't know who made these die cuts. I got them in a what's the word I'm looking for? In one of those blog sales where people are getting rid of old craft supplies. And then these arrows and geotags came in the Studio Calico kit, and I thought because it's talking about home and an actual place, well, not really, it's talking about stew, but I thought just because it was talking about a place, the geotags would be a good addition. And then because there's hearts in that where that upper embellishment cluster will be, I thought, oh, well, I'll just punch a heart, because I felt like that embellishment cluster on the left-hand side there needed some grounding. So I punched a heart out of just that black cardstock. And now it looks like there's a heart coming out of the roof, which I'm okay with that. I'm going to pop this other heart up. These are the die cuts where I'm not sure where they came from. This heart with this damask pattern on it. I'm not sure where those came from. I got them in one of those blog sale kits. So now I have hearts in the upper embellishment cluster on this left side, and then I'll think about how I'm going to incorporate hearts down on that lower left side, lower right side. I still haven't learned my left from my right. Just putting some floss through these buttons, and in hindsight, I really wish... See, here's me making a bow. It is ridiculous. I hate bows. I really do. I bought a prom dress once and had a bow on the back, and I made my mother cut it off. I hate bows. But anyway... So now like I said, there's love in that upper embellishment cluster and the one to the left. So I'm taking this, it just says love you, love you, love you across it. So that adds it to that lower right embellishment cluster. And then I think I need some of this damask pattern paper in that right embellishment cluster as well. So I'm thinking about a way to add it there. Or maybe I'm working on the top one here. Yeah, I think I'm working on the top one here, and I want to cut this into a flag. Oh no. Oh, I was going to put it in that bottom part and then decided that it worked better up top. So I'm just going to add it behind that button so that that pattern appears in that triangle, that all-important triangle. It may be the only design rule, I guess, if you will, rule that I listen to. I like my embellishments in clusters of 3, and I like them to triangle around the picture. So, and I'm really not in that bottom part where it says "You are my home" and has the doors and stuff. That's not really, that's just a page element, I guess. It's like, like a border. I don't really consider that one of the embellishment clusters. So now I have the hearts. I have the top embellishment cluster done, I think, and then I think I'm going to use these geotags. So now I'm deciding how am I going to add the hearts and that damask pattern. So I just took a mini heart punch from Recollections and I punched some hearts out. So I'm going to add the hearts down there in that damask pattern, so that takes care of 2 birds with 1 stone there. I really should stop using that phrase. Drive my mother-in-law insane. And then there's a geotag. And now I'm thinking that "Love You" is the only place where there's silver. So I'm going to emboss these wood veneers with some silver. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to put them down on just the scrap black cardstock with some temporary adhesive. And then I'm going to cover them in Versamark, dip them in the embossing powder, and then heat set it. And then that way I'm not burning my fingers trying to hold those geotags as I'm heat embossing them. So I don't know where I'm off to now. What am I doing? I was probably trying to find the embossing powder. They kept coming off because the temporary adhesive wasn't holding them down, or I didn't use enough of it or something. They kept coming off. Well, Versamark's very sticky, so it kept pulling them. The Versamark kept pulling the geotags off of the black cardstock. So, but in the end, it works out. I don't burn my fingers. They get embossed. It's lovely. There they are, all embossed now. And then we're just going to add these, add the 3rd button. So there's a button too. I guess I failed to mention that in each of these embellishment clusters. And those are those Tim Holtz ideology buttons. And as you can tell, I tied a bow in the one and then just tied knots in the other 2. Because seriously, bows, one, I can't tie them. And 2, I don't like them that much. So anyway, knots. Knots work very well. And then I'm going to add these 3 geotags to each of the embellishment clusters here. Maybe. And then the last thing I'm going to do on this layout is I'm going to add glossy accents into each one of these windows. And just to give them a glass-like look. So I'm just going to fill each one of the window areas with glossy accents, and then that's going to finish up the layout. And I thank you guys all for watching, and I will talk to you next time.